Dominic, your mother carry the ear for me? Your mother carry the ear for me?
I don't think so.
Oh, she forget and she tell me she carry ear. Come give me for the ear. Alright. Hi, Winnie, good night. How you doing, sweetheart? Everybody tap up the screen as you come on in. Me sit down and keep this up and pull out the ear tonight. My daughter said I need hairstyle. She said my hairstyle look wacky. No, she gonna give me ear for put in there. Cheryl, good night. How you do? I know my ear said she not carry the ear. So me have to go stop down there tomorrow. So while I sit down here, so tonight, me have to pull out the hair. But, I want to say something. Not care how which me find it. As a matter of fact, me find it and show them. I use my phone a little bit before I go up on TikTok and show them. So I'm sitting there going, one man unalive with teacher and his daughter, then they go find him hang for himself. I never know so them sitting there. I don't know what go on, brother. Half our country mash up half our country unalive themselves. Me find it.
We're grateful for life. Yes. All right. So we're grateful also for today because of Dr. Michelle Charles. We have some to drink and some to eat. Yes. So we want to say thanks to Dr. Charles. Yes. And we also have Starlink. Yes. So if you have your phone, just go on Wi-Fi. You see Starlink, click on it and you can call everybody and tell them. Yes. All right. So let's get home a little bit. Because we know sometimes it get overwhelming. Yes. So we come out with a smile and go home and some music and we feel alright. Not true?
Alright, I can't play the music part. I'm going to up there and send me nothing for that. No, you see the MPs down there crying out, oh, them not get no relief from the government to get the people. But Michelle Charles and her daddy can pack up one load of 1 heap of sitting the car down there and give the caretaker for Ann out and with wife and with Starling. Wanna tell me how we're going here? Wanna tell me no? You have to hear when you ask if it is political. No, it is not political. So it is what? When you look, all Audrey Marks have up the whole heap of care package I give her up in Manchester. And people are really wanting to get it. So now tell me if it is not political. The people them down at Westmoreland and St. Elizabeth need it more than anybody else. Them need it more than anybody else. I don't know. I don't know, guys. But somebody is telling me that when I go back to Westmoreland, I must go into a community called Bethel Town. There's a lot of old people around there who need help. Celine, good evening. Me realize what's going. Me see it feeling. I predict that, and I've seen it coming. And they're using this. Alduin Valseed, then target it. And them in there give out relief without his knowledge. And he can't do everywhere one time. I see it ceiling. I saw it. I see where I'm going. Them not comfortable with the opposition. That they can't. They need 2/3 of the amount in the house to do what they want to do. And this is a me have here for my head though. Where's a Gigi? Good evening. 1 p.m. equal poverty. No more destruction. Sorry for telling you. But them a plan one way. And God a plan one way. Me not understand. Me not understand. Anyway, me go play one clip. I'm go up on TikTok. Me a couple of people where they will always look out for me. So me go play one clip.
15.
I want to listen to this. Good night, Winnie.
Good night, Auntie Jen.
How you doing?
Listen to me. Not so 100%, but thank God I'm still here.
Yeah.
In the name of God, I'm here still. Now, what they're giving out is nothing to do with Michelle. Is the care package that the government received.
I know.
They take it
I
and
know.
giving it out and pretend it's Charles. Her father should be ashamed, and all of them should be ashamed. They don't give it to the MPs.
That's what they
They
do.
go and do it themselves.
And
the
right
poor
across,
little
they're
fool-
doing it. Right across.
And the poor people are so hungry, they will, take it and do what they say. How
See-
can you go and play music in a sad time like this? But Michelle, my child is the government get it from abroad to give out.
We know.
Because the country I'm living in sent tons of stuff to Jamaica, America, Canada, everywhere. Ordinary people, entertainers. And that's why a lot of the entertainers are giving it out themselves now. They're not giving it to the government. You understand? Giving them, and Charles comes to Michelle Charles in America. She don't care nothing, but her daddy gone to and the brother and the caretaker. It's a wrong thing that they're doing.
It's the wrong thing them are doing.
It should be given it to the MP, but I don't know why Mr. Mark don't have a press conference and talk what's going on.
Them are gonna come out and say a lie for them personal things them are giving.
Nothing to Michelle Charles wouldn't give nobody nothing unless she pushed up the people's skirt like she did with that lady
Because
that went in
we
her
see all
house.
Tom Tavares and his son come out and say, oh, they spend $6 million for them own money I give away.
You believe them? Listen, not even a dead drunkard would believe them.
But
Why they so lying?
the lie,
That's the
man.
one want the money to go and drink in a rum shop. They're so lie. Spend their own money. Oh my
Over them I
God.
do
I
all
don't know.
over. I said thing they do a Central Westmoreland and George
But the
Wright
people,
and George Wright they
but the,
collect his stuff them and they know say do involved with that parliament. Them are genial and wicked.
yeah, but don't forget the people know, the people wise up now, you know. They were sleeping a long time, but they're awake now. This hurricane wake them up. How come we don't see Andrew send out anything him to go and give him? Because he knows that he lost that seat. That's why he's not giving nothing there.
So,
It's like everything that they go and give out is people that send it to the government to donate and they pretend it's theirs.
I
Can
know.
you imagine Tavari and his son give 6 million? They wouldn't even give 6 cents. Jesus. I would put him and put him in front of face. You are a born liar. You ain't giving not even a cent. You didn't give nothing when you was when before no hurricane. You have given nothing now. Did you give anything in barrel? They're too lie. Too
They
lie. If we take a lie, they take the test, the thing would blow up.
Me
The
I,
thing would blow up so high that to say come have to come up and that to blow up. You lying, I can't make you sit here no more. They're too lie, man. Nobody can believe them. And this one in that lady name, I can't pronounce her name. The young lady that works so hard, and this counselor now come and saying he's the one that doing the road.
oh yeah. Me I go play that clip too. Zulika Jess. That's a clip me just in a play when you call.
Look, I am one thing, Auntie Jane, I cannot pronounce name. I don't know why. I cannot pronounce difficult name. One day,
Zulika.
one day I was on the radio in Barbados, and the moderator said, "What, Winnie? Can
Good
you
night,
ever
Bressa.
pronounce the name?"
Sonia.
Anyway, darling, we know that it's not theirs to give away. It's the donation that to give and take it and pretend it's her. Liar. That girl wouldn't give nothing unless she put it up someone's skirt. I hear you have a good night here.
Thank you.
Good night to everyone.
Yeah.
Love you, my darling.
Yeah.
Take it easy pulling out your ear. You know what it's like.
Yes, Mr. Long gonna take it time pull you out.
Did you hear that we have leprosy now? There was one confirmed?
Where? Barbados?
No, in Jamaica.
No, so I don't hear about it.
Yeah, it was on the news. One leprosy confirmed.
What?
Yes, and they showed the foot, how the foot got lots of spot, red spot and things like that. That's all leprosy is supposed.
Some news
Yeah,
I miss, some news I miss, me man. How me never say that?
Yes, and they say the person drink water from the river or something. So,
Mm.
yeah. But I'm going to send the clip when I see it. All right?
Yeah, send it to
Okay.
me. Yeah, send it to me.
Yes, my darling. Yes. Good night, everyone.
Good night. Listen to this one.
So usually I don't do this. Usually I don't respond to negative posts which are made on social media. But tonight I feel compelled to respond. For those of you who have been following me, you would realize that yesterday I visited the community of Grasspeace as well as Lower Prosper. Now, the moment I got to Grasspeace, before I could even get out of my vehicle, a young man who is very well known to me came to the car and explained to me that even though I had sent heavy duty equipment a couple days after the hurricane to clear the road so that they could actually enter the community, he explained that as it relates to the personal private homes, the houses of some residents in Grasspeace, they still had difficulty entering and exiting their own personal space because of the amount of rubble that was left behind by the hurricane. And so, in fact, he even spoke to me specifically about an individual who shall remain nameless, and he mentioned that she was almost on the verge of getting depressed because of the whole situation. It was just really a severe inconvenience that was really starting to get to the residents. And so I said to him, okay, I will look into it and make sure that you get some assistance. By the time I went up the road, a few other residents came to me with the very same issue. And so against that background, the final straw actually was when a gentleman came to me in the presence of the contractors whilst I was there speaking to the contractor, and explained that he had a similar problem and that the contractor had told him that he couldn't go into private homes. He would have to speak to his member of parliament and ask her to assist. And so he came to me in the presence of the contractor. And in the presence of the contractor, I spoke to the contractor and asked if he could assist, even though technically it is outside the scope of his responsibilities because it's not on the main road. It's actually personal private property. But given the nature of the situation, and I believe that you always have to sometimes try and help people as best as you can, even when technically you don't have the responsibility or it's not your burden to bear. But especially in these times when people really have been going through so much, if we can help to make the burden a little bit lighter, I'm always going to be the one who is going to try to do so. So in the presence of the residents, I spoke to the contractor and they heard as well when he committed to me, because if it is one thing with me, I'm going to ask for timelines. I'm going to ask, when are you able to do this so that I can update you? And so in the presence of residents, the contractor indicated that he would come early in the morning and deal with them first before going back to his usual scope of work that he's actually supposed to be doing. And so against that background, I also communicated to you all who watch me on this space that your homes, those of you with rubbles, would be cleared the following morning, and I gave you an update. Now, why am I speaking about this? You would think that that is a non-issue. Except that it turns out that the JLP Council for the division has taken to social media to make a post stating that he is the one who is clearing the roadway. He is the one who is doing the work. Now, it appears to me that the councillor has probably not been listening to the news or watching the news when the announcement was made that as it relates to clearing of roadways, all roadways are being cleared through the National Works Agency. So it means that even though usually here in Jamaica we have a distinction between parish council roads and NWA roads, because of this particular situation, the catastrophe that has been brought on by Hurricane Melissa, a decision has been taken by the government that the clearance of roadways are being handled through the National Works Agency. And so it is against that background why I would have reached out to the parish manager for the National Works Agency and gave him a list of the roads that still had not been cleared and a list of the roads where residents were still somewhat stranded. Now, many of you remember I would have cleared most of the roadways in the constituency within a few days after the hurricane, but there were still maybe one or two. Lower Prosper was one, and there's another one in Park Mountain called Red Lane that's also not clear. And then there is another section of Top Burnt Ground which is in the vicinity of Joyland. Those areas, residents still had challenges. They're not blocked in or marooned because they're alternative routes, but those roadways still need to be cleared. I would have submitted those listing to the National Works Agency. I have been in constant dialogue trying to get those roadways cleared. That is why I can tell you, because even up to today, I would have spoken to the parish manager for the National Works Agency and asked him, because I see your messages, I see you asking me about Park Mountain. I may not respond to all of you, but I see your messages and I do act on it once I see it. And so I can tell you that he has given me his commitment that he will take the contractor tomorrow morning to look at the space, the roadway, and then make a determination as to what type of work is required. As it relates to those of you in Top Burnt Ground, I can give you an update to let you know that the work actually started today to try and clear your roadway. Now, this is the reality. if you follow me, you will know that I'm not the member of parliament who is going to be driving around on a backhoe, piloting someone or trying to tell somebody how to do their job for the optics of it, or just so that people can see me appear as though I'm doing something. I don't work like that. I am the member of parliament who, once you come to me with a problem, I'm going to figure out a way to solve it. And once I have solved it, I'm going to move on to the next problems that I have to fix. So you're not going to see me each and every day that a road is being cleared. You're not going to see me on location because I am busy sorting out other issues that need to be solved. So once the roads start clear and me get the update that the roads start clear and me know say you're all right, I'm not going to necessarily find myself back there and just be present for the purpose of taking pictures. But I've come to realize that the politics has shifted. The politics has shifted in a direction where there are some of us who are willing to simply wait until someone makes strong advocacy, makes strong representation, starts to get work being done, and then they simply go on location and try to associate themselves with the work. Now, as it relates to this particular road work being done in Grass Peace, those of you who follow me can actually go back to the video that I posted a few weeks ago, right before the hurricane came, where I was giving you an update about the drain in front of Mothers. If you listen to that video, you will hear the sound of the contractor explaining to me what was being done and how he had cleared the drain. And if you listen to this video of the Grass Peace clearance, you will notice that the voice is the very same. The voice is the very same because it is the same contractor that I've used to clear the roadway. So I find it rather disingenuous. I find it unfortunate that the councillor is now coming to make assertions that he's stating that the municipal corporation is paying for the work. He's stating that the work is being done through the municipal corporation, or in other words, the parish council. Parish councillor is not clearing any roadway that has been blocked as a result of Hurricane Melissa. All of these clearances are being done through the National Works Agency. So I'm just here to set the record straight and to let you know. And I guess I am this incensed because, quite frankly, I feel very passionate about it. I feel very passionate because throughout this whole hurricane scenario, I have not seen or heard of the councillor making any representation. I have not seen or heard of him doing anything constructive. And so I take great offense to now, at this particular moment in time when work is being done, now coming and claiming responsibility or trying to claim responsibility, and then having the audacity to go on social media and state that I am the one who is being dishonest. I take great offense to that. So this is just to set the record straight.
Set it straight. Hey.
Yeah, man.
Let me tell you something. This Labour Party government, you see, them a push and a push like they want to push people for Good night, Auntie Jane and everyone. Please double tap. Thank you, Sir Kia. That's all I notice what they do. I just play the one with Michelle Charles down in Hanover where she never business down there, but she gonna give out things. Yet the member of parliament not get nothing but she and her pooper down there. Me don't know what them problem, but they're busily round and round. Me don't know if a next month election I go call again or something. Cause that's what me see them a do. Them a give out the care package them and then not giving the PMP them to give none out. None out. This is absolutely ridiculous. Now when I call them out, they say I make mischief. That's what they're going to say now. A mischief you make. The way in which the effort of the assistant to the Jamaican people, it was dealt with very poor. When I say very poor, very poor. Up till now, almost going 3 weeks, it is very, very poor. People told me that if it wasn't for people, if you see in the video when one lady say one day when they go, nothing they never get on them out when see one lady drive one van and the lady stop and give them one juice and 2 candles. And they feel so good for it. Then take the juice and the 2 candles. Because what some people do is to drive from community to community. But Through them did start doing anything of people not do that. So people have to just go to the central place where everybody go and get their little something. Right? And even when I go down there, the people were telling me that at Petersfield High School in Central Westmoreland, when government sends something to the center of the school, those who are in the center outside, they not give them none. Before they give them, then take a party them when they spoil and throw them away. And one of the worker inside say, grieve him, and come out back and tell them. Say, oh, then beg them and then never give them and throw it away. And me see a member of parliament when I belong in a central, left here constituency and was with the relief van in a one black now. As me telling the story already, I'm not going to call the name. Me see that. I'm going to pull out the video because I have a video and it should be on the video too. I true, I'm not get no time for go back over them. So these are even at the parliament. It's like they came and ask her, what she's doing now in the parliament. What she's doing in the parliament is ask a question. So even though I want to ask a question, I can't really give an explanation before the question. For instance, I want to talk about the comb. And I can't say to you, said, I would love a comb. I must just say, I want 2 comb. You're right, Cardi. You will like to gotta work a miracle, man. I agree with you. Because you know what I notice now, more people understand what's going on the ground, and a lot of people are heading to those areas that they are trying to overlook. God of God. God of God. Too much mess going on, man. Too much mess. So, I soon open the phone line. I can play another clip.
The country could soon have a new city along the south coast, this time in St. Elizabeth.
Yeah, man, it goes for true. I mean, know you're frightened, you know, but it goes for true. There are indeed some people who can only support you when you're in a season that allows them to wish you all the best, but they cannot support you when you are actually experiencing and accessing that best. You see, when you step into God's best for you, that best physical and mental well-being, that best job, that best income, that best partner, they're not able to support you because they preferred you in the season when they could wish you the best, but they were really not prepared to watch you access the best. And they may have been saying to you, boy, I hope it work out one day. But realize now, it work out. You find the X in the equation and solve the problem. It work out. And now you and them in a problem. But it goes off true. And the real issue is not that you are doing well. It's not that you get rich and switch. It's not that you don't deserve it. It's not that you cheated and played unfairly. It's not that you did something to hurt them. You've just left their ego hungry. Them used to build up them ego from looking at you and saying, I'm better than because, I have more than and therefore, at least me now. And that allowed them to build up their confidence. So of course, now that you are outside of the season that allows them to compare and quietly compete, they cannot exist in your presence because them can't eat no food off of you. Them ego hungry. And you can't feed the ego no more. But here's what you're not going to do. You're not going to small up yourself when God is opening up big doors and big opportunities for you to live a big life. You're not going to pretend like you're not being blessed right now. Live in your blessing. Embrace it fully, gracefully and gratefully. You're not going to pretend like the trees that you sacrificed to plant are not now bearing fruit. Sweet and juicy fruit for you to now taste and share with others. You're going to enjoy your blessings. And vex, I forgot to take it up with God because God bless you. I God show mercy. I God give you grace. I gotta fill up your life with the nice and the good things them. So you're gonna enjoy it gracefully and gratefully. So now it might be your time to wish them all the best. But here is the difference. When you say it, you will mean it. Now, The Bible don't tell you what gonna happen already. You know, it's gonna be like hot coals heaped upon their head. But again, they must forget to take that up with God. Continue to live in your best and blessed season, brave warrior. And if you're not in that season yet, continue to work because your hard work is going to pay off. And what will double that hard work is the fact that God's favor, God's grace, and God's mercy are run you down. And you're not faster than God. So it's going to catch you. It's catching up and it's going to catch you. Love and light every time.
Very good word, Crystal.
Yeah, man. It goes off true. I know you're frightened, you know.
Good words. Good words of encouragement. And I said I want to share it with you. But I want to share also what Dayton get all heap of goodies, man. So we just talk about it. Oh, God bless, no man curse. Cause you were so right. I want to play Dayton Parliament. I'm gonna hear something. Listen.
For your visit to Eastern Westmoreland. And I hope that doesn't offend the House. You're the only minister who has visited and has invited me along. And I would encourage some of your colleagues to. I would encourage some of your colleagues to adopt a similar disposition.
Since I was not in the House.
Yes, we're back
when
to normal.
Are you at question time, member?
Yes.
Okay. So I think you know the rules of this House.
I do, Madam Speaker.
You hear me say nothing wrong? This woman coming like a big old play. Only your husband come out of this place and make the people, make Jamaica breathe them and then stand up in
I still thank the minister nonetheless. Minister, what is the mechanism that is in place for all the groups that are volunteering?
Man say wrong when I come in,
some
the
of
man
them
to come
may even be prescribing their own medication. What is the mechanism that is in place to dovetail that so that there is adequate follow of those persons? So a volunteer group of doctors come in and they see a person and the person has a chronic illness that will require follow-up treatment. They see them. We need to work out that mechanism to ensure that they can be referred into the system formally so that further care can be given to that individual. So that's the first question. The second one is around communicable versus non-communicable diseases. In terms of the non-communicable diseases, I have a concern that this is a high-stress environment that these persons have been placed in, and quite a bit of them are not able to get the care. The mobile unit is a very good attempt to get to some of these individuals. But I wanted to ask whether or not the regular medications that they use, if they would be able to gain access to those free of charge, of course, because some of them would not be in a position at this time to pay for anything at all. And in relation to the communicable diseases, the need to clear up the environment is one that needs to be prioritized. I am very concerned about how persons are disposing of human waste currently. Very concerned. And I'm wondering if it is not possible for us to look at putting some portable
You have to tell it. You
facilities
think Dayton should have
at
tell the government
strategic
that?
points
And talk to
so
me now.
that persons can
Them couldn't know say
relieve
it house them blood
themselves
down
with some
and people
amount
and
of
feces
dignity
need portable sitting down there.
and
Papa Jesus.
to ensure that in terms of the next question, could there be a discussion with the
The opposition asks if them are going to carry disposable toilet. The opposition should have asked that? Huh? I wonder why people then do that too, because even when we go down there, I don't see no toilet out of them.
tertiary institutions who train counselors and psychologists? Could there be a discussion with them to mobilize a group of volunteers to head to some of the hardest hit areas and start that process of counseling some of these members? Because as a representative from one of the areas that was devastated, I can tell you that it is playing with even my mind, and I consider myself a very strong individual. But just the reality of getting up on a daily basis and seeing that level of devastation, I am wondering if we cannot mobilize a group of volunteers from these tertiary institutions, some of the retired persons, and get them into the community so that they can start the counseling process. And
One thing me know, Jamaica will miss an
the final
opportunity.
question is in relation to deaths.
What a
I
mess,
didn't hear the
Gigi.
mention of deaths in the statement.
Yeah, and good night.
Deaths both
Annie.
of humans and
Rowan.
animals. If we are not able to remove the carcasses of some of these animals, that is in and of itself going to lead to another disaster. And so I think in as short a time as possible, we need to be able to come up with a plan as to how we are going to.
The internet, guys, so every minute they out. If you want to see it a break up our internet.
Of those. There are sections of Westmoreland and elsewhere that you
No
have
plan,
several
Nadi.
cows, goats,
Good
and
night,
those
Mar.
things that have died, dogs, and they're just lying
See, my,
in the
am I right
community.
down, you know?
Swollen flies gathering around them. If we don't treat with that situation urgently, it is going to lead to some problems. So I wanted your attention to that. Thank you.
No, people of Jamaica. Is the opposition, Dayton Campbell asks the health minister, 3 weeks into almost, we have an hurricane. And in the devastated area where almost everybody else down. Nobody now think, the government now thinks an outbreak will come. Are the opposition if you ask question? Are the opposition if you ask if them might bring portable toilet down there and put them in a strategic area? The opposition if you ask if them are going to set up one tent and put them. Are the opposition if you lick out so they want portable clinics and something like that? The government that knows say they have to set up these things. The government that knows say they have to give the people then tarpaulin. The government that knows say them should have called for some blanket. Are the same people them are take care of themselves. Only necessary with the power own. Only necessary with the power own. I ask the Jamaican people something. Only not realize on the power own. And at the same, you see what God has shown it to? I bring we back to the old time thing when neighbors care for each other. So open to see now. Who really are the government? Simple thing like them or something, nobody now, and then I take it, them a like a relief them where people then send come if you can't get the people them. I get on a phone or own politician then for go hand them out for look political points, eh? And now get the MP them. The most of the gift them where MP them a get, our people give them. Nikisha Burchell came out and said she have to beg Pernell Charles Jr. some relief. I can find a clip and play because I don't want nobody thinks somebody I tell a lie on them. I can say if I find that clip. And she should tell him thanks.
Data gaps are so wide and so glaring that we have not. Remember. Next question is about the scale of the damage and inadequate.
Alright, I can't find anyone actually.
Thank your cabinet for considering that.
Alright, me not find it. But next time I need to save them because sometimes I can't find it back. But she said she begged Pernell Charles. She said she no. I not say she used the word beg. She said she asked. No man, I think I beg you know. Or anyway, she asked and she thanked him for give her some relief. And she gonna send it to some place where marooned. And me I say, then all along, them not intent. So if you not come out and make nice and talk out, you're not gonna get nothing. Kyle Henry, good night. Zilly Millie. What kind of hairstyle is that? You know say what kind of hairstyle? You know say what kind of hairstyle? Pat, good night. You know say what kind of hairstyle me have? No, some people can really make some things be a problem to them. I say, man, God Almighty. I come here and I say, I'm going to pull out my ear because it's either I'm not come on the platform because I don't have the time. My daughter said my ear needs style. So, if I pull out the hairstyle. So I come and I sit down and I tell everybody knows I pull out the ear, but you have to come here and talk about our kind of hairstyle. Ivy Morgan. Don't answer that Zilly Millie. Assembly of her right. Me know assembly of her right. Because I never said that the name on my platform. Zilly Millie. I first me say that Zilly Millie. Yeah. Anyway, may I open the phone line? No. I want to play our next clip phone. Hold on. I want to play our next clip phone with Erie. When some question asked. Because I never get a chance to choose the night for when you listen to
Thank you very much, Madam Speaker. Minister, I just want to commend you on a very worthwhile presentation at this time. As my colleague from Eastern Portland said, that we are happy to be the surrogate breadbasket parish, and my farmers in Eastern St. Thomas stands ready and willing with the requisite support from your ministry. I heard you mention, Minister, about the aerial surveillance that was done. I would like to ask this question. In terms of the extension officers from RADA, wouldn't there be a role for them to go in the deep rural areas? I was a bit concerned about that, so I just need some clarification in that regard. My other question was about the farm roads that was destroyed. So I need to get some information as it relates to my farm road in Eastern St. Thomas that were destroyed. We are on the coastal section, so that is very, very important at this time. Thank you, Madam Speaker. Thank you.
And are you aware that both plow tractors at RADA in Clarendon are inoperable? Inoperable. And this is having regard to your proposed program of free plow service. Will you consider engaging with private plow tractor operators and subsidizing that service to the farmers? Minister, you are aware that Southwestern Clarendon has perhaps a number of agro-parks, some of the best producing agro-parks in Jamaica. Ebony Park, Spring Plain, Panarsos, which was recently came on board. Can you say what percentage of these agro-parks are currently under lease? And if for those that are not under lease, what measures can be expedited to ensure that those lands are leased, because those lands are very arable? In terms of insurance, can you say thus far how many farmers have benefited under the Grace AgroCare? Because I remember we worked on that closely over the years. And how many farmers are to benefit, and what was the quantum of the amount that was given to the farmers as a result of the hurricane damages that they suffered? Those are my questions.
Thank you, member. Last.
Thank you very much, Madam Speaker. Minister, will there be any assistance to farmers not registered with RADA? I see the reference to the RADA network and the registered RADA farmers, but is the minister aware that there were hundreds of non-RADA farmers who received damages? Secondly, Minister, will the farmers' experience this time around be different from the experience that they had during peril? Are you aware, Minister, that there are hundreds of farmers who had registered, submitted their damages, were verified and assessed, and up until this day are yet to receive a benefit or any communication as it relates to that experience? That's a question that my farmers in Southeastern St. Mary have been asking. Will their experience be different this time around? Thank you.
None of them the question now answer, you know. I want to listen.
Minister, can you tell us what are your plans for the communities of Anderson Town and Bagol, who were also marooned, and the water has not totally receded, and I listened to your statement and you spoke about vector control. What methodologies are you going to be using to control vectors there, and are you going to take into
you believe all my
consideration
questions should have asked in the parliament,
citizens,
no?
especially the elderly citizens who may have respiratory challenges as they fight through this challenging moment? So that is one. Two, there has been reports to me that there's a dengue outbreak in the community of...
You know, I listen to this. But the people that chatting in the parliament, man.
There's a dengue outbreak in the community of Morgan's Forest.
You hear that? Dengue broke out already.
So we need to have urgent attention to those areas.
Now, if you come to parliament to ask the government, I don't sit there and understand people. People may not understand. What do you think the government should jump at as the hurricane done pass? I say, I don't see nobody spray no mosquito nothing. Much less in the area. You hear that now? Up in a Clarendon, that's all? Waverland constituency say dengue start to break out. Janet Grant, good night. So not hear it. That's why I play them I cannot hear. Because I know maybe when I do it the other night. And I was looking at some of them today. I know. I said, but wait. If everything we are talking about start happening already.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. St. Catherine Northwest is the home of the Windalco bauxite plant. And while I heard of the multiplicity of things the bauxite industry may have contributed in its very long history, and none of us in Northwest St. Catherine could claim that there is no benefit to bauxite. It is a chief employer of most persons in Northwest St. Catherine, and as far as the multiplier effect is extensive. However, this bill before us that states $4 million for each MP, I believe, Madam Speaker, is evidence to each constituent, to each bauxite affected constituent. Yes, the amount is... Yes, we know what it is. Yes, we know what it is. Yeah? Yes. But it's allocation of 100 million, and I want to be very open so that my constituents don't believe that we have 100 million. That is 100 million to all, divided among all of them. And to that extent, simple mathematics would suggest that if there's any equity, it's no more than $4 to $5 million per person. To that extent, Madam Speaker, I think it proves that there is no real plan for life after bauxite. It has been indicated that bauxite should have between 10 and 15 years left of effective and efficient production. And we have the history and evidence of life after banana. We have the history and evidence of life after sugarcane. And we see how the suffering had come to those communities that were once dependent for employment and activity. We see in this plan no industry development proposal. We have not seen a life after bauxite plan being put forward for any community. I have not seen it for Northwest St. Catherine, and I am not sure if the other MPs have seen one, but there is no such plan for us to say we are going into this replacement industry. We are going into this replacement activity. And to that extent, it seems as if we are running full speed into the abyss with no plan for the people that are currently directly dependent on the bauxite industry. Indeed, Madam Speaker, we have seen without any conversation the end of what the public call dust money, the contribution to the community due to the nuisance of the dust from bauxite. I see the minister is a little engaged at this point, but this dust money that used to come to the communities have ended with no conversation to the communities where they would get a quarterly contribution for the dust nuisance that would come from. In Northwest St. Catherine, we know that the bauxite industry have robbed us of the river. Multiple slates of pollution coming into the river that has caused for not only the economic viability of fishing, but the recreational activity of swimming. Have not, Madam Speaker, I'm asking for your protection.
Members, the member is asking you to allow him to speak. While on his feet, he should be heard.
There's some dirty, nasty way about them.
Madam
Go
Speaker.
ahead, member from St. Catherine West.
Thank you. Madam Speaker, we have been robbed of our rivers.
The constant pollution has caused for the habit of recreation in our
Bad
rivers to
better
end
than
because persons have identified the probability of pollution in the river. We have the caustic pollution. We have seen on multiple occasions the fish kills within the same spaces that we have not been able to benefit from. Madam Speaker, we have also seen where a lot of agriculture are not conducive to the space because especially vegetables suffer under the dust created by the bauxite plant. I speak as well for a school called Charlemont High School that is in direct proximity to what is called the Mud Lake. And at Charlemont, listen, I win by nearly 3,000, so you can talk to me when I get closer. Madam Speaker, Charlemont High School have reported a multiplicity of reports of reading problems among their children, and to that extent we have not seen that level of investment coming from bauxite. Let's give an example, Madam Speaker, of a place with the production of bauxite. We have no clinic in Louidersville of any worth. The clinic in Louidersville falling apart. We have no clinic in Treadways, not falling apart, non-existent in Treadways. The clinic in Linstead, has been asking for a dressing table to dress wounds that come to that clinic. This is a bauxite community. So with all of the conversations of how great this bauxite is, the limited interface that we have seen suggests to me that the bauxite industry is not playing a satisfactory role in this space. I joined my colleague from St. Anne about a hidden problem with the bauxite industry. While it is that many a farmer is robbed of the areas that were mined, the ownership of the bauxite industry of other lands not mined and not being able to be utilized.
But you imagine the opposition in also attack
economic and housing opportunities because they hold them dear to simply ownership. These are not mined out. You know, the backside, leave me alone. Madam Speaker, of course, we want to focus on the rehabilitation of the mined out lands. Of course, we want to find usage of mined out lands. But I say to you, Madam Speaker, that there is no way we could claim that 14, 15, 20 greenhouses could be a legitimate plan of replacement for 1,000, 2,000, 3,000 dependent individuals on that. A more extensive development. And while Minister, not criticizing that start, what I'm saying is that I can identify thousands of acres not being mined but under ownership of the bauxite that they have not allowed for usage. And it is creating in some of our constituencies a facilitator of criminal activity through squatting on these lands, right? And also through non-utilization. Additionally, no, I lost there by 200 votes. Additionally, Madam Speaker, I joined the member from South Manchester about the lack of coordination and facilitation of the bauxite industry towards the people's representatives as member of parliaments in the area. It is not unusual that the bauxite industry would give scholarships, and without knowledge of whom they gave the scholarships to, that the member of parliament office double dip with those individuals, and regardless of requests, that has never been granted, neither to us nor our request sent to them for that to be done. They give no consideration to the people's representatives. Madam Speaker, the rust of the roofs caused by the dust from the bauxite cannot be replaced by the limited contributions that are being given. If we should give 10 sheets of zinc, 6 pieces a lot and 2 pounds a nail, that's $52,000. This amount might give 80 individuals a contribution. Any bauxite community, in particular those in the production communities, the caustic is causing extensive damage to roof, extensive damage to crop, and extensive damage to furniture. I don't know of the lives. Madam Speaker, I hope the minister can also imply and indicate to us how much money is currently owed to the treasury by these bauxite companies. It is our information that quite a bit is still owed to the government by these bauxite companies. And we'd also like to know for how long this has been owed, because this is a key indicator as to why we are not benefiting sufficiently from the bauxite plant. I welcome the statement from the minister that no bauxite entity or constituency community should be without water. I know piped water. I know that Windalco have its own well, for example. And we hope that as a part of its contribution to the community, that Windalco will consider in a more permanent way to provide for that into our constituencies. So we are happy that this is before us, but we are concerned that what is being granted through an institution is not sufficient to plan for life after bauxite, nor to mitigate the negatives, the cost of the negatives that the bauxite industry has created. With that, Madam Speaker, I thank you.
Well said, Damian. Well said.
Minister?
Well said.
Madam Speaker, Minister, I hear mention of field hospitals in Black River, Falmouth, and Sabramar, but none in Hanover. What are the plans, if any, for a field hospital or renovation of the Noel Holmes Hospital? That's one. You mentioned about mobile clinics. Many of our health centers are damaged. Grange, Lucy, Dias. However, we have not seen or heard anything about mobile clinics coming in any of these communities. That those communities serve a population of vulnerable persons. What are the plans to put mobile clinics, and how will these communities know about mobile clinics coming in?
Then definitely a sabotage Hanover. Definitely a sabotage Hanover. Definitely.
Be reminded, you are to ask a question.
That's a three-part question, yeah? Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Firstly, I just want to say to the Minister, on behalf of the constituents of Central Westmoreland, just firstly, along with donors and the minister, it is very important to say that we are appreciative of the fact that the next field hospital will be set up in the Savlamar area. Because we all understand how devastating it was in those particular areas. My first question will be related to the phases you mentioned. I remember I said the first phase, the relief phase, that will take 3 months. The second phase, which is re-establishing the centers and hospitals to pre-hurricane levels, I noticed a timeline was not given for that. So I'm going to ask you, what is the timeline to re-establish the health facilities to pre-hurricane levels? And I ask that because, especially with health centers in Central Westmoreland like Petersfield, Williamsfield and Cornwall Mountain that were seriously devastated by Hurricane Melissa, we want to know how quickly those centers will be re-established. The second part of that question will have to do with the mobile units. In the statement, it stated that the Petersfield area, where that center is, will have benefited from the mobile units. We want to know when the mobile units will go into Williamsfield and into the Cornwall Mountain areas, because those areas are more remote, further away from South, so those persons will have a larger need to have the mobile units coming into those particular areas. Banks is right beside the hospital. The final question has to do with the health workers. And I noticed it stated many things read the health workers, the support that will be given to them. But when I was at the South Hospital recently, they stated that over 75% of the staff suffered significant damage. So yes, we are appreciative of the announcement made, re-support. But what they really want to know, because I heard you also state that in the wider programs you're trying to see how they will benefit. But what you want to know, if there will be, or if there could be any special allocation outside of the wider allocations, specifically for our health workers, especially those are the questions.
Then I'm asking something, people on the line. The opposition of your come to parliament can ask the government them a question. Shouldn't it that the government knows that these things should be? If the health sector have to work overtime, they are devastated and still have to give service. Oh no, must put something in place for them. No sir, something wrong here. Something is wrong.
You have to turn your mic on once you're acknowledged, member.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. Minister, this is a question that I'm hoping you will be able to assist in relation to communicable disease and certainly cold storage. So there was a hope that light would have been restored in many places, but that hasn't happened. So there's a inquiry or a flooding of queries as to how persons who have medication that should be stored on refrigerator or cold storage, how will they get assistance in being facilitated? It's a hope that there would be some prospective solution in anticipation that it's going to rise if the light isn't returned in areas. I know I'm in the east, but it's escalating to a point that I'm hoping, not asking for a mobile clinic, but certainly at the local level, that something can be put in place. So there are places that persons can go to the community where at least their medication can be stored, and if that's something to be considered, because it is escalating. Thank you.
You're rough out there. You're rough out there.
But his mic is on. All right. Thank you, Madam Speaker. He's standing. He's that short.
I'm sure
He is standing. Minister. Okay. Minister, are you aware that the clinic at Roehampton is flat? The one at Catadupa, Maroontown, Garlands, Welcome Hall, Cambridge, those are perhaps 40 to 50% destroyed. I heard you speak earlier about bringing some tarpaulin to some of those. I don't think tarpaulin can help with the damage that they've sustained. I don't know if you've received the reports yet, but we urgently need a field clinic in at least 2 parts of the constituency. Given the wide geographic spread of South St. James, it takes up half of St. James. You may need to put one on the Maroontown, Garlands, Niagara side and another over by Cambridge. I heard you report earlier that you sent a mobile clinic into Cambridge and Maroontown. It's the first news to me. In fact, I had Mama's Mission and Dr. Dawes on Sunday operating a mobile clinic in Maroontown, and they saw over 100 people. So I'm surprised to hear that mobile clinic was there a day or 2 before and so many people hadn't seen it. So I'm asking, Minister, if when the decisions are taken about sending in relief, whether it is medical or food or whatever, if the political representatives, the people's representatives, can be so informed so they can further inform the people. And more importantly, I've been trying to get my mother's medication, she's hypertensive, in Montego Bay, and most of the pharmacies, as you know, are still closed because they have no water, they have no electricity. I've become a drug distributor, yes. A drug distributor. Every week. I think you are all fully aware, you know. I think you're all fully aware.
Yes. Obviously, it's legal drugs. I am the queen of the South. But Minister, every week that I come into Kingston, I'm taking back bag loads of prescription for the constituents. So I'm asking Minister if you can help us through the NHF to get a mobile pharmacy going around the constituency to relieve me of the burden. Thank you.
Is the minister aware that the people of Westmoreland endorsed the next field hospital coming to the parish of Westmoreland? Is the minister aware? That's number one. Number two, is the minister aware that the road to the Grange Hill Health Center is blocked as we speak? That's number two. And Minister, number three and final. No, I don't want to say that. Minister, you made an announcement in regards to Savlamar Hospital. Will this delay the renovation and the what you plan on doing in terms of refurbishing the Savlamar Hospital going forward? Thank you.
St. Andrew West is as far from the western Westmoreland, but it is a known the areas of New Haven and the Riverton Seaview area are known vector prone areas, problem for vectors. Will this be a focal point in this mosquito control period? It is the waterborne. These vectors are
present. There's a lot of rainfall, a lot of water, and the vectors, the mosquitoes are really propagating.
People have to go in a parliament to ask them about mosquito airborne disease and vectors and all of them something there. With all we are going on the island? No man. You bad so.
The member from Hanover Eastern. Thank you, Madam Speaker. Mr. Minister, what are the plans you have for vector control for Forest and Chigwell? Those are two communities that have been marooned by water since the hurricane. There is a stench now in the community. We don't know if it's dead bodies or dead animals. So I'm asking for your urgent attention. I mentioned them last week in Parliament, Chigwell and Forest. Chigwell and Forest. Thank you.
Whoa. Come on. Come on. This can't be our country run.
From Manchester Northwest.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. Madam Speaker, through you, I'd like to ask the Minister of Finance a few questions pertaining to the order that she has brought to the House. Can the Minister say why it has taken 5 years for another constituency development project? This is phase 8. Phase 7 was in 2020. And just by the minister's admittance that this program is supposed to be every 3 to 4 years, why has it taken 5 years for constituencies that have been affected by bauxite to be seeing any resources, any at all? Secondly, can the minister say if there will be an increase over the measly sum of $4 million that has been given to constituencies like Northwest Manchester every 3 to 4 years for projects financed through this program? Can the minister also say which are the projects, that $1 billion that she mentioned in the last financial year, were these projects? Which communities, which constituencies were they done in, and how much was spent on each of these projects? Because I know constituencies like mine in Northwest Manchester saw no additional projects outside of the $4 million that was attributed to Northwest Manchester in 2020. And a member from South Manchester is saying that he saw none in southern Manchester also. And last question, will we be seeing the regular allotment to these constituencies and not when it is that the administration see fit that constituencies that have been affected by bauxite will see a regular flow of funds coming from the CDF?
All right, we're not playing no more. Them, but we're not hear the question them. That. Let me hear what Dr. Dahl did say.
Member from St. Catherine Southeastern, you're the spokesperson on health. You have the floor.
The question should have
Thank
went
you,
in
Mr.
place
Speaker.
already, you know.
I address this noble House today in response to the Honorable Minister's statement, not to critique or engage in rebuttal, but to recognize, first of all, the hard work of the team at the Ministry of Health and the regional health authorities during this a once in 700-year event, and to augment the call for unity, empathy, and commitment to the amelioration of the conditions of our brothers and sisters most impacted by Hurricane Melissa. The hurricane has caused untold damage, and debates continue as to the adequacy of our disaster preparedness. History has taught us that plague follows natural disasters. We cannot fully prepare for a natural disaster, but we have the window of opportunity today to prepare for and possibly avert a public health disaster in the upcoming months.
A true man.
Dysentery, dengue, pneumonia, leptospirosis, and typhoid are already here in Jamaica. Malaria, yellow fever, and cholera are possible where people are living under tarpaulins, drinking river water, and practicing open defecation. In the midst of our cleanup and rebuilding efforts, be mindful that every action has a collateral benefit of preventing further loss of lives. We have a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity to fix not just health care, but the social determinants of health. But to do so, we must do it as one people, together. Everyone must help. Everyone must be allowed to help. And hegemony over decisions, donations, and deeds has no place in Jamaica today. Mr. Speaker, let us not be fooled by well wishes and token support. We must fix ourselves. Our former colonial masters have sent us just over £2 million, or 0.01% of aid to Ukraine, a region to which it has zero historical ties, save for the Crimean War. During said war, it was Jamaica who sent tangible aid to their forces through Mary C. Cole. Whereas we appreciate every ounce of aid, especially from the thousands sending their widow's mite, but the aid from those who can afford to solve our problems is simply not enough to ward off an impending disaster. Again, we must fix ourselves together. We will be required to go above and beyond the call of duty to build back better than before, to build back stronger. Healthcare workers have lost their homes and possessions and are still required to be frontline workers while suffering from shell shock. They must be prioritized for any relief and reconstruction. I recognize the minister's approach for that, and I am fully behind that suggestion. I will go further though by saying that homeless healthcare workers must be housed as soon as possible, so they do not have to worry about where they will shower and sleep while providing empathetic care. Public health must be a priority in order to stave off potential outbreaks. Potable water and proper sanitation cannot continue to be luxuries in disaster-hit areas. If what obtains cannot be addressed post-haste, then we must evacuate the affected from the petri dishes they once called homes. Healthcare workers alone cannot shoulder the burden of distributing crucial public education, hygienic kits, and water treatment tablets. We must engage the church, we must engage the justices of the peace, and community-based organizations, and we must engage the constituencies' machineries.
House Leader.
The member time for speaking has expired in how much? 10? 5? 5? He has asked for, we asked that it be extended for 5 minutes to allow it to complete.
The request is on the floor. Those in favor? Those against, ayes have it.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. So we must engage the constituencies' machineries that are just trickling down from a competitive general election. Cumulatively, these institutions can identify and reach those who cannot access health care or the necessary information and resources to prevent diseases. Public education on water treatment, proper hygiene, vector control, and the recognition of the signs and symptoms of the expected diseases must permeate every medium, with every volunteer carrying the message, not just burnt-out healthcare workers. It is the duty of every Jamaican to spread the words necessary to avoid a public health catastrophe. It is the duty of each one to reach one with material and emotional support. We are all traumatized from the hurricane, and post-traumatic stress will unmask or exacerbate anxiety, depression, even outside of the hardest hit areas. Mental health reform across the land must be undertaken immediately, and public education coupled with access to counseling services, only recently highlighted by the recent spike in suicides, should be island-wide. Melissa has shown our healthcare sector to be fragile. In rebuilding the health facilities damaged, the goal is to build a resilient healthcare system. But I challenge you, Honorable Minister, to build a healthcare system that is anti-fragile. One that is not just resilient to stressors and disasters, but in the true sense of the term anti-fragility, overcomes and becomes stronger through built-in mechanisms that recognize deficits and appropriately address them. I challenge the executive to not do this alone. Embrace the overtures for help from all segments of society in getting boots on the ground. The spirit of volunteerism is high in Jamaica. Harness the power of our own local good Samaritans to reach those who you do not have the capacity to reach. The danger of not having all hands on deck is that those whose status cannot afford them a life raft will be the first to perish if the ship should sink. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Same way. Yes, guys. So you listen to Blessing and Love, good night. You listen to what was said, right? So wanna tell me now. Wanna tell me, leave it, good night. You can use it, you can call in now. The phone lines are open so that you can call in and share your view. Let me see if somebody will call in here. That's Winnie. Let me hear what she said.
Auntie Jen, they found Bungie stuff at Bungie stuff at the warehouse in Spanish Town. Auntie Jen, they found Bungie stuff at Bungie stuff at the warehouse in Spanish Town.
You hear them a kind of story what Winnie tell me now? You know, hear Winnie just said me say, they find Bungie stuff at the warehouse at Spanish Town. Oh, coincidentally. You tell me that tell lie. But another, they find out who send the stuff. Hey, Me telling you now, me no know, me no know, me no know. Somebody call in and help me talk. Cause me no know if it talk. Me frustrated, you know. But hold on, let me see if me see it on the headline. And when it just send me the news there. Leptospirosis case over take over. No. Me feel said I want the people them down there for dead off. That's why even we are going down there and it's good enough. We have to be careful what we are doing too because well as for me, I have nothing down there, so. Health Minister is warning residents in St. James and over Westmoreland Central stay alert after suspected cases of leptospirosis were reported following Hurricane Melissa. Leptospirosis are bacterial diseases commonly associated with exposure to contaminated floodwater or infected animals. The ministry advised people to avoid floodwaters, potential infected animal, wear protective clothing and visit the nearest health center immediately if they experience fever, chill, muscle pain, or other flu-like symptoms. Look how the PMP are warning you. When you're not going in here, go spray even the water. Back in the days when you have settled water, health inspector that come around and they come with one spray and them would spray the water. I remember with one oil something would float up on the water, one oily substance. Anybody remember that? I don't remember that. I'm not too young, man. Fergie, good night.
Good night, Auntie Jen. How are you doing?
I'm good.
Yeah, Dr. Dayton Campbell did mention not the specific disease, but he did mention this scenario, right?
Yeah.
When was it? Last week or a couple of weeks ago in Parliament, and
the week after the hurricane, Dayton talk about the other week when the woman did want to bad him up in the Parliament.
All right, Auntie Dan.
Yeah.
But you see, people need to understand. Dr. Dayton Campbell, he's actually a medical doctor. He knows the science behind a lot of these things. He's not a doctor in terms of philosophy or a professional degree as the Prime Minister of the country.
He's a real doctor.
Right, he is a real doctor, so he understands
and
the
what I know,
science.
and him not buying no doctorate.
Auntie John, I'm not gonna go see. Yes, he earned his medical degree on his own fruition. On his own, yes. I'm not gonna go there. But right, so he's a medical doctor, he knows the sciences. So when he did mention this a couple weeks ago, you would think the government at that point in time would say, even if they don't know, even if they had no clue, they don't know, they would say, oh crap, maybe he's saying something, okay, maybe we should look into it. Now, it's too late. There are a lot of communities that are marooned with the waters with dead animals, carcasses, and also the sewer system. So remember now, Auntie Jen, those places probably don't have a sewer system. So they're septic tanks, right, with leach fields. So these waters are leaping into it and basically dragging the bacteria from your leach fields into that water.
Mm-hmm. And then and for excretion from the human, we don't know.
Right, exactly. That's another thing.
Yeah.
So they're not even thinking about what is happening with humans. How are they are getting rid of their own waste, right? And I
cannot imagine because I have never lived that life, so I have no idea. I've always had a bathroom and running water, but I cannot imagine what these people are going through right now.
Sure.
Trying, because you got to go every day.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
If it's number one or number two, you got to go every day.
You go every day.
There's not,
And if you're not going every day, it's a health, something with your health is wrong. Your body must
so that's
excrete.
another issue.
Your body
So-
must excrete every day.
Every day. It has to get rid of that waste in your body. And where's it going? Where's it going?
Them have to do it right in their surrounding.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So the government to me is very lax on this. I don't know if they just don't have the expertise, which again I wrote, if they don't, it doesn't seem they have the expertise because you actually have to be smart. Like you actually would have to think through these things, right?
Yeah.
So when we know Melissa was heading west, because everyone was expecting it to do the normal route of hurricanes, head to St. Thomas, Portland, Kingston always gets the eye. That's where it normally goes. That's the normal path. This one chose a different path. Like it went west. And they should have moved critical resources into those areas right before it hits. So when it does hit, they can work on immediate assistance. And that is the problem. They did not do
This government, I'm telling people them all the while say him is a swagger. Him is a swagger. And him is a but me tell them all the while say this man have nothing in him but leadership quality. But them don't understand that. The man, you have a swag, and if young people they run with the swag and that him keep all them. Now you see the real test of leadership come on, and we are seeing it now.
You're seeing it. And the thing is, I mean, having a swag, that's great, and I get it. That's what wins elections. Nowadays, you gotta have a swag versus actual intellectual capacity in dealing with issues, right? But at some point, people have to realize the theatrics of things is not what it seems to be.
Exactly.
And that is what this government, from what I have seen, it's all about theatrics, right? You have a health minister who is not an actual medical doctor.
That's a big. Him not understand one thing when I don't need that. Him is a PRist too, you know.
Okay. So if you have a health minister that's not an actual doctor, how will you understand what is needed in the health ministry in order to move the country forward?
But they have a real doctor, you know. I think the one where they give Minister of Justice, him should have been Minister of Health.
I think more than likely, yes.
I think him is a real doctor, you know.
He's a real doctor. Yes, he should be the one for Ministry of Health.
Yeah.
So you see how it's warped?
Yeah.
And I come from a background, and most people probably don't, but I come from a background of thinking that even though I am okay financially, health-wise, and everything, something can happen and that could change overnight.
One thing, listen to me, we can't even boast about that. One thing go overnight and everything go downhill.
Okay, Auntie Jen, thank you. And I've always, I don't know if it's nature or nerve, I don't know what it is. My parents always said that to me. This can happen and everything could change overnight.
Yeah,
and you always have to think the worst and always hope for the best. And you always have to make sure you look out for those who are not in that position.
Yeah.
So, Auntie, I look at this hurricane, and I'm like, okay, this is a Cat 5. You knew a Cat 5 is coming. Like, this is not changing. all the weather channels, everyone. I don't know who the government was listening to. I was watching, and every day
You
they're
don't know
like,
who I'm gonna listen to. So with meteorologists whenever know where happen.
oh, let's stop. No, no, no. Everyone in the U.S. was saying this. Oh, it's a Cat 5. It is going to hit Jamaica as a Cat 5 and go through the island as a Cat 5.
Remember, they were giving us so much different conflict in something.
I think, yeah, that's probably what the issue was, right? Because Melissa was weird because it went very south and it went very west. It was supposed to do the normal route, and then the route didn't happen, right? It's supposed to go through Kingston. Normally, the eastern side of the island always get the brunt of it because that's where they come from. But this one was very weird. She went very deep south. So I think that's probably one of the issues was the communications and how it was done. So all you guys were getting prepared. Oh, it's happening Friday. It's happening Saturday. It's happening Sunday, right? Like everything they didn't know. But then at a certain point, they did know that for sure this thing is going to hit, and it's going to hit on the western side of the island. So at that point, Auntie Jen, what should have happened, the government, and in the US they do this, at that point, they should have moved critical resources for immediate help into those areas that they feel is going to get the most impacted. So you move them immediately, so basically it hit Tuesday night, Tuesday morning, right?
Yeah.
By Monday, they should have been moving, because I'm sure the critical resources are in Kingston or in Montego Bay, the two major cities. Those are the two major cities. They have the major critical resources there. The government should have started moving them. Maybe not to Black River or Darlston or New Hope in Westmoreland, but maybe, okay, we'll get them into Clarendon, get them into St. Anne. So it's quicker for them to get to those areas that are highly impacted quicker to deal with immediate assistance. And I don't think that's what happened. Now it's free for all, it seems. In the U.S., they do that. So, like in Florida gets a ton of hurricane. If they know the hurricane is hitting a certain place, they immediately get resources, not directly in the area that it's expected to be hit, but they move it to surrounding areas. So they're waiting. So it hits Tampa. Okay, we know it hits Tampa. We have St. Petersburg. People there, they're going to flow into Tampa. We have people here, they're going to flow into Tampa. So it's an immediate assistance for emergency purposes. That's what should have happened.
Them now got the type of wit in them. They never watch movies for know what's going.
But I think I wrote that. I said you actually have to be smart to know how to navigate these sort of things. And it doesn't seem the government current has that ability to do that.
Whoa. Sadie?
Well, Auntie Jen, it's so sad. I've been watching videos of, other YouTubers that are going into communities.
Yeah.
It's crazy. It is so, unbelievable. Unbelievable. People they're really hungry. They're really thirsty. They're hurting.
Yeah, man, the situation terrible down there.
And it's only people, ordinary, social media folks that I see going in there.
Yes.
So YouTubers, TikTokers,
Right. The
and I'm looking. I'm like, where's the government? Where is the government?
The people told me when I went there Wednesday that if it
I
was
saw your video. That was good. Thank you, Auntie Jen. That was so good.
yeah, the people said if it was for people like us who come every day, people will drive, you know, and them don't know them would have all dead off.
Yeah, I just watched one family. They live, I want to say, where did they live? I want to say they live maybe over by Montego Bay End, and they live in one of those communities. It's nice, and they went into an area. They packed out like grocery bags, and they went there and gave them out. And one woman who they knew of, she unfortunately didn't get she got a bag like the week before, but she had to share it with her grandmother who's sick.
Yeah. That's what happened. Yeah. A lot of them will come out, so when they go back in their community and they get nothing, them have to share, because all people we can't walk come get nothing. So who come out, come get. Alright, if you watch a video and see the young girl, like when we give first the bag.
Yes,
right, so she go carry one for her grandmother and her grandfather we can come. So she and her mother out there, you know.
Yes, yep.
Right, so them a try look two little something whatever for carry back home, plus picnic they picnic
they have other
not
people,
even
so they
their
try
home, you
and
know,
share.
cause underneath they look a makeshift thing them a go back to.
I don't think people realize the devastation a Category 5 hurricane can do, right? It's the most powerful hurricane, and again, Jamaica it wasn't there for an hour. So it's not like it came across the island for 1 hour. Boop, Category 5, boop, we're out of here. It was there for practically what? Auntie Jam, what do you say, like 24 hours?
No, I never did a 24 hour. I passed over island quickly enough, maybe in the 3 hours. According to
in 3 hours.
Yeah, man, about 3 hours if it's a long tour. It passed over island quick, but it don't damage.
And you saw what it done in 3 hours,
yeah,
right? If we say 3 hours,
I would say 3 hours.
Did this devastation.
I would say 3 hours.
You saw concrete buildings, because they're not built correctly. Walls are blasted down. Buildings that have been there for, what, centuries?
I hear this now, Fergie. We maybe I talk about the boardhouse them now, but boardhouse are one of the safest house for living. It's just that they need for build good. Because you have to think also about when I may get hurricane, and within the season where we haven't get an earthquake for a long while, we have to live in an expectation say an earthquake may well shake.
Exactly.
So when an earthquake shake with them, all of them slab roof, they crack them up. The same slab roof now can drop back on you now and arm you same way. So anything you do is just problem.
It's just problem because I hear people like, oh my God, everything should be concrete. I'm like, no, it depends on how the concrete is done to build your building, right?
Boardhouse can't stand up. I see one little boardhouse on the roadside with all of the big house them and everything. The only thing we see happen is one tree fall on the side of it, but nothing blow off of it.
Okay, I saw a similar video. We probably saw the same video.
Yeah, could be, yeah.
The boardhouse was still standing, and a tree fell on it, and the roof didn't go off,
no,
and
the roof never come off.
The boardhouse and the tree is still standing there.
Yes, and I see one little man, if you look by my video I put up this morning, I want little wood something like him make and live in it, and he say I hit him in when the hurricane and nothing happened to it.
Right. But you see, I think what the country needs, and it probably, unfortunately, this government may not have the smarts, or maybe they don't want to, is to have true engineers, quantity surveyors who go in, right, to look at where the land is to say, you know what? Your house could be in danger because of where it's located, that the winds are so powerful. Like, for example, our good family friends, when I go to Kingston, I stay at their house. They live in the hills above Kingston, and it's high up. It's high up. And based on their height, right, the quantity surveyor for their house, when they were building it, said, listen, you need a certain amount of steel in this house. It's going to take more steel than you can ever imagine. The concrete mix that you're going to put here has to be of this quality. So they design it in such a way, and I know it takes money to do that. Not everyone has that capability to do that. But I think what needs to happen is that they need to have much more stringent rules if you're going to build this house. Look at that development in Montego Bay.
Yeah.
What is it called? I saw it this weekend.
Yeah,
it was Edmund.
Let me find it. I think I have it here. Hold on.
Where the people spent like $20 million. It's all sheetrock.
Andrew, them are wicked here for sheetrock.
Sheetrock. 20 million. Are you kidding me? Get out of here. Sheetrock. Jamaica should not have anyone with sheetrock in there.
So when you look at this housing development of Edmund Ridge, and you see...
Yes, that's the one. Yep.
Of the housing that is developed here. This is nothing like Operation Pride. I want to make that point clear. So if you...
Okay. Now, Auntie Jen, FYI, right? Now, if I'm going to buy a house there, and if I'm going to buy it in a scheme, the only people I'm buying that house from is the Matalon family, right?
Yeah.
That's the only one. Because the Matalons built Harborview. You see Harborview on any of those videos?
No.
Okay. You see the Portmore houses that Matalon built back in the day? Have you seen any of those houses on those videos?
No.
Okay. That is the only builder I will ever buy a scheme house from is a Matalon.
No man, Andrew them have them who never run around the place and build cheap houses and sell people for millions of dollars.
20 million. 20 million. There's another part of the development, right? That they're trying to develop. People put monies on it. It's like 40 million.
Wow.
And that's already destroyed. And they're telling those people, oh, go to the insurance. One thing I told my brother the other day, I said, you know what the issue is going to be? It's going to be a FinSec situation. It's going to be the insurance. Insurance companies are not going to have the monies to help to pay out these monies. That's going to be the issue.
Whoa.
That's going to be a major issue.
Yeah.
Because insurance works on risk and liabilities, right?
Yeah.
So if I give you an insurance for your house, right, I will look at Auntie Jen's house. Okay, you have a slab roof. Okay, should stand up to a Cat 5. All right, perfect, great. You're not in the flood zone. I will give you the insurance. Now, someone else's house, you don't have a slab roof, you don't have this, you might be potentially in a flood zone, you're gonna pay, I'm gonna charge you more for premium to insure this house. Okay, Cat 5 happened. Auntie Jen's house is fine. She's good. She doesn't have a claim. Now I, who built in an area that is suspected to be might be a flood zone. My roof is not a slab roof. My roof is a wooden roof and I'm paying for that, I'm going to have to pay out that claim. If I have a claim for 20 million, I'm going to have to pay out that claim. So, Auntie Jen, think about it. If you have 100 people having those sort of claims, that's going to be an issue for the insurance companies.
So where the people
And that's
then
what
go?
happened in America. That's what happened in America with Hurricane Andrew in Florida.
So where the
That's
people
why
then go
they
now?
can't even get insurance now in Florida.
So let me ask you something. So when how long the people them have to go live out a door till insurance respond?
See, that's where it becomes dangerous, right, Auntie Jen? Because the insurance, if they're not going to pay out, I'm not going to help rebuild your house because
I
I'm
want
an
you
insurance company.
I want you make can say no. The country,
thousands of claims.
I love my country, but me just see it a go down in one precipice right now. And me not know how because when I don't want something, let me tell you something. Me just see it a go down in one precipice. And me don't know where I come out of it right now.
It's gonna be tough. It's gonna be a very long haul, Auntie Jen, to be honest with you.
So
It's funny you said that. I turned to my sister-in-law today and I said, the country, from what it seems, right, especially with the election that just passed, they have endorsed scamming and corruption. And funny enough, where the storm, where the hurricane crossed, I'm like, those are the areas where a lot of scamming came from. It didn't come from Kingston, St. Andrew area, where everyone thinks everyone's a thief.
Charge, can I use 66% charge.
And I said, and I'm like, give it 10, 20 years, if this is not done correctly, if the government is not serious about this, the country could fall into what I would call a very large Haiti. Jamaica would be the largest English-speaking Haiti of the Caribbean. Because Haiti, that's what happened to Haiti. It's corruption. Corruption was the biggest thing that happened in Haiti. Right? They changed the constitution, they changed everything. Everything goes into the power of the president, the prime minister, and it just fell right into those hands of Haiti. And I said, that's where I could see Jamaica. I don't want it, and I'm praying to God that there are still some people on that island with a conscience, with a mind, that they're able to not go down that path. But Auntie Jen, I agree. I don't know where the country is going to go.
What we say right now, because people are fear cuss about their house, but then just buy and a paper, then take bill house and all of that, and then now I tell them about insurance, and then I go on away for people are going to start just get
They're going to start upset.
frustrated and go on bad, you know?
Yeah, Auntie Jen, you and I, we know. I'm not a pusser, I'm not a fighter, I'm not one of those people, but if I was one of those people, I'd be fussing and fighting. No lie. Auntie Jen, I'm not lying to you. I would be cussing and fighting. I just spent $20 million for this house, and it had no roof, it's flooding, and I can't even stay in the house? What? No, we're fighting. We're fighting. I'm not a fighter,
I wonder if all of the people,
I'm not a cusser. I'm not one of
all
those
of the people can put something together and get a lawyer, go back a court and see if they could get back a refund.
No, that's not going to happen. Those developers are not going to happen. They already got their money, so they don't care. That's the problem. That's the issue, because I think those developments were built in conjunction with the government, right? They get their monies, they develop the properties, and they leave, and they go on about their business. So it's going to be on the government. And what is the government going to say? As you said, Auntie Jan, we're just holder of the title for our lands. We're not the owners.
Yeah. Anyway, Fergie, you know, there's something I left for show tonight.
All right, Auntie Jan.
Yeah, so thank you for coming in and share with us, but I forgot now. My phone is dead when I do TikTok pan. You see me just try charge it. Anytime I charge it while it I use, it eat. If you understand.
Oh, yes. Yeah, oh, I know. I know.
So, good night. We catch up again tomorrow, all right?
All right, Auntie Jen, be good.
Yeah, man, take care.
All right, bye.
Yeah. All right, guys. Over YouTube. Big up on yourself. Thanks again for the support. Thank you for staying on. I'll catch you later on here. Bye.